Hi friends, welcome back to the channel today. Today I decided to do a big China adoption update, also fill you in on how in the world are we going to pay for a $40,000 adoption in 1 year. Very good question, right? Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Winter and I'm a foster mom and I have 4 children that I adopted from the foster care system, and we are also in the process of adopting from China. And we are getting there, guys. So I have some great news for you guys. We are officially home study approved. We got all the paperwork done, we got it back. Our home study is complete. I actually just had to send it in for a few revisions. There was a couple things spelt wrong, and I'll get the final copy here within the next day or two, which is very exciting. We also just sent off our LOI paperwork. So LOI means letter of intent. So that means, you guys, okay, so if you are not familiar with the international adoption language to China, that means we have a child that we want to pursue and pick out. We haven't shared with you guys that information yet about who they are and anything like that, because we didn't really want to share if we didn't get to adopt them. We wanted to, or her, him or her, you know, if we didn't get to adopt them, we didn't really want to share that. So we have found this person's file, this baby's file, not a baby, a little bit older. I don't want to give away too much just in case it doesn't work out, but I feel like we're like on the brink of being officially, you know, there. So let me back up here. So what happens is, if you want to adopt from China, there's 2 options you can go down. You can adopt from the waiting child list, which there's more severe special needs, or you can do like a more like for a moderate child with very few special needs, you can go this other route. So the first route is where you get like kind of pre-approval to adopt from the waiting child list. So that can go really fast. Within a year, you could be traveling to China from application to travel. And then the other process, it could take up to 3 years, which is, so the first process, you file a letter of intent to adopt this specific child that you want to, and then you go through the dossier process and then on to like all the other work. Where the other way is, it's like different, is where you don't have any child in mind. You go through the home study, you work on your dossier, you send it to China, you're kind of pre-approved to adopt, but you don't have a child, and then you look at spotlighted children from your agency that have moderate special needs. Me and Chad on our heart for a while to adopt from the waiting child list for a number of reasons, but these children are a little bit harder to be placed, and we just felt like we can handle some special needs. There was a small list of special needs that we felt like we could handle, but there was a list at least. So we feel really good about it. We're really excited. It's coming along nicely. So that is our China update. We are filing for an LOI, letter of intent, to adopt this specific child. When we get that back, we will announce who that child is when we are matched, so to speak. It'd be kind of like pre-approval match. We won't be officially matched until we get our dossier back from China. So we'll just have to wait and see. That would be like months from now. So that's our China update for you guys that are super excited with us. So to the money aspect though, how are we going to pay for this thing? Let's talk about that. So praise God, we have already paid for $8,000 of this adoption. So excited, guys. 8,000 of it is already done. The reason why it's so high is we are planning on trying to take all of our children with us to China. So that's why we're saying 40,000 instead of 30,000. We are pretty set on this. We're pretty sold on it. We really think it's really important and valuable to us. But that's like, you know, next April. So I think that the travel part will be okay. But this next part right here, this is what we're doing. So far we have had one grant granted to us of $1,000. We had a friend give us $1,000, which is super awesome. And then all other monies that we're getting in. I know a few of you guys have donated us through our PayPal account here on YouTube, which is awesome. I'm super grateful and humbled that people even consider to give money to us. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Like, super humbled. All the money that we have gotten from that has been around, I would say, like $750 or so that we have gotten from just friends giving us money and stuff. And we are putting all that in an envelope. We are hoping that, like, that money, any kind of extra money we throw in there. So now we have about $1,500 in that envelope. So, like, if I get, like, a gas reimbursement from work, I'll just throw that in there instead of putting it in our checking account. Just any kind of extra money. Or Chad did a little event, he got $50. I did a little event, like, he played guitar for something and he got $50. I spoke at something, I got $50. So anything kind of extra stuff, we are throwing it in that. And it's like, it's kind of accumulating pretty fast. So the home study itself costs about $5,000. And then the next part is, like, fees for, like, the US and all that kind of stuff. We just paid that is like $3,000. So we have $8,000 paid, like I just said. The next big one that needs to be paid is a $12,000 one, which you send with your dossier to China. I hope I'm not being super confusing, because it was really confusing for me at first. When I first started this process, it was really hard for me to understand where all the money was supposed to go. And then there's a lot of, like, $1,000 things, like, for, like, you have to get your USCIS when you send in your I-800, it costs about $1,000. We are gonna do, like, service processing fees. Like, they're gonna process everything for us. And, like, even with, like, all, like, the authenticating and, like, all that of all our documents of our dossier, it costs about $800. I mean, there's a lot of, like, little minor fees in there. And then travel to China is quite expensive when you adopt. They recommend you going through someone that's going to be, like, a guide for you, which is way more expensive than we're used to traveling with. Me and Chad, we traveled the world all the time, and, you know, we've never spent more than $4,000 on a trip, like, ever. Like, so it's kind of weird that this one's going to be so much more, just because of all of the, you know, we have to have people showing us how to do things, how to get to places from point A to point B, and then we're bringing all our children with us. So it's kind of a big deal, and I feel like we're going to be able to handle that. But, like, praise God, like, we probably have about 3,000 of the 12,000 ready. So now that we're home study approved, we are planning on applying for grants here in the future, and hopefully we get enough to make the $12,000 one here, which is due at the end of the summer. So that's kind of, like, how we're gonna do it. So we have been cash flowing quite consistently. We've saved about $1,000 a month to put towards the adoption ourselves, and somehow we have managed to pull out $6,000 of our regular checking account somewhere in there to pay for it. I guess, like, plan B, if everything fails and we don't have enough money, we will pull all of our emergency fund out of our account, which still might happen. Like, we have a little bit of money stashed away for emergencies, like if I lose my job or Chad loses his job. Like, that's kind of like our emergency fund that we set up, because we don't do credit cards, so that's just kind of there. So, like, that's kind of like our plan B. And our plan C, if we still can't do it with our emergency fund, we're going to, like, my parents will probably give us it, and then we'll pay them back. That's, like, my least, like, favorite option. My best option is, like, God just comes through and provides for us, and we get all the money paid, and we get grants, and somehow in our budget we come up with most of the money. So we are excited. It sounds like a lot of money. It sounds like, for some people, like, oh, it's not worth it, but it totally is worth it. And I'm so blessed. Like, I'm so incredibly blessed, and I'm not worried about it like I was in the beginning, because we started this process in March, and now it's, like, just the 1st of July, and we've already paid for $8,000, like, something that I didn't even think was possible. So I know that it can happen, and so we're excited. We're excited to see it happen. It's fun to see our kids come along in the process as well, to see us, you know, believe God for something that is really huge, and it's going to be super cool. So I am so excited for this day, guys. Like, this has like been a dream of my life since I was like 15, 16 years old to be able to adopt from China, and it's actually happening right now. I'm just like, I'm almost like, can you just pinch me? Is this real? Like, is God letting me do this? Like, is this happening in my life? Am I like, have I arrived? Like, because like the idea of adopting from China was so far out there. It's so something that couldn't be possible in the past for me, and now it's happening, and it's great. So I'm just super thankful today, and I'm thankful to send out my letter of intent to adopt this person from China. I try not to give it away because I want to do like a gender reveal kind of thing going on for her or him. So anyways, I love you guys. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you everyone for keep watching our videos. I'm blown away by all the love and support from you guys. You're so encouraging, and thank you for praying for our family. Like you saw in a video a couple videos ago, we do have the baby still living with us. I'm going to do an life update video right after this one, so you guys can know what's going on there and how crazy things are happening. We just have a lot to share right now, so we'll be sure to film that right after this one so you guys can have that later in this week. I feel like I'm back on track with videos. It just took a little bit of time to adjust to having a baby, so I'll put that in the link below if you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'll put that in the link below. We are fostering a baby right now. So anyways, I hope you guys are having the best day ever, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!